Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Platinum Achievement Podcast, where each week we invite you to join a fun-loving community of gamers from around the world for the most exciting podcast of all time. Welcome to the party. What's up, everybody? This is Antonio coming to you live from Chicago. This is the first ever episode of the Platinum Achievement Podcast. I can't even tell you how excited I am. This is a long time in coming. I want to thank everybody who's been messaging us on Facebook that they were so excited for us to start as well. It's going to be amazing. We're going to talk games. We are going to take this fun-loving community that we started in Facebook, and we're just going to branch out. It's going to be great. It's going to be tight-knit. It's going to be positive. It's going to be upbeat. It's the most exciting podcast ever created, and we haven't even started yet. We really want to just thank everybody for listening. It means so much to us for every subscription that we have to the YouTube channel. And if you want to go to YouTube and search the Platinum Achievement Podcast, that's where you can find us. If you would just please share that link on Facebook. If you would invite somebody that you know, one of your friends that, you know, likes gaming, likes podcasts, please give us a chance. You have no idea how much it means to us. Every subscription we get at this point is huge. Also, again, you can join the community on Facebook. Just search the Platinum Achievement Podcast, and we're chatting all week about games throughout the week, and, you know, it's just awesome community, so please join us. And without further ado, I want to introduce my co-hosts. First, all together and then one at a time. We have Brian. Well, actually, this is something I want to bring up right away. Brian Spagnoli was supposed to be here today, but he's not. We expect that you are either sleeping in or dead. So shout out to Brian Spagnoli from New York, everybody. Who is here, though? We have Matthew, a.k.a. Matt from Philadelphia. We got Chris from Beirut, Lebanon. And we got Imran, who's either from Leicester or the UK or England. That could be all the same place. We are a global little host bunch here, so we are spread out all around the world, so you're going to get to some perspective, people. It's going to be awesome. So I want to have Matt introduce himself. Matt, talk to the pod people.
Okay. My name is Matthew Keel. I live in Philadelphia. I'm a sad Flyers fan because we can't make the playoffs. I love video games of all kinds. I tend to focus more on indie games at this point because they tend to be the games that are more interesting to me. I'm also a craft beer enthusiast, a music nerd, and a movie nerd. Who's up next?
Okay, so Matt is enjoying a cold beverage. Is that right, Matt?
Yes, indeed. That is correct. I am enjoying a Mama's Little Yellow Pills by Oscar Blues Brewery, and it's fantastic.
Okay, well, that's our first plug right there. Okay, going on next, we got Chris. Again, Chris is in Beirut, Lebanon, for those of you who don't know, including me, how to find that on a map. We'll put it in the show notes. Don't worry about it. We're going to educate you. Chris, say hello to the people.
Hey, guys. So, Lebanon is in Middle East. It's next to Syria. It's next to the Mediterranean Sea. And I love video games. I actually own a shop of video games, so I sell, that's my living. I sell video games. Right now I'm really into The Witcher. I love RPGs. I don't like puzzle games and platformers.
Yeah, Chris is really interesting. He's going to teach us a lot. Again, we haven't really talked about this, but, you know, in owning a game store
discounts
out there, discounts, free games, it's going to be interesting about how much you can speak about the industry, you know, from your perspective without getting in too much trouble. I know usually you don't care about stuff like that, Chris, but we're going to want to hear about it. Thank you for being here. And finally, we have Imran, and Imran is, again, out of the UK. Imran, say hello to the pod people.
Hey, guys, it's Imran here, your local British dude. So my name's Imran. I'm 27 years old, avid gamer. I haven't got a console of choice. I play PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, you name it. I love comics. I'm a huge, massive comics fan. I love animals. I've got a ton load of animals at home. My wife actually works in a pet store. And and right now I'm just playing The Witcher. I'm getting through that slowly. I'm really looking forward to Batman, so I just can't wait till that comes out. But yeah, I look forward to discussing some topics with the guys here.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that your wife Worked in a pet store. She owns a pet store or works in the pet store?
No, she works at Pets at Home, which is in the UK. It's like don't know what you'd have in America, but you know, one of the big chains of pet stores.
Like PetSmart, a Petco.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, like Petco. Yeah.
What's the most rare stuff you got out there? Like, what do you keep in a cage in the back that nobody?
Pandas.
Also, in the UK, there's a lot of like regulations, so you can't even sell cats or dogs. They just got hamsters.
What?
They can't sell. I mean, they can't sell dogs or cats.
So you guys walk hamsters down the street?
Yeah, no. We can buy. So you got to buy. I've got four Persian cats at home. I've got 4 Persian cats. But you have to buy them from specific breeders. You can't buy them from a store. Because I've seen on TV and stuff, like, I know, like, in America, they have them, and, like, you can just buy them from a store, right?
We got so many pets out here.
Not necessarily, though. Like, I know,
I don't know, I saw it on, I don't know where, I was watching, I don't know, I'm not going to tell you what I was watching. But, yeah, so they went to a store and just picked up, this really cute dog, and I was like, that's a bit weird. But there's loads of regulations here. They can't sell all sorts of things. Like, but they sell hamsters and rabbits, snakes. Sell snakes.
I know, like, you can go to PetSmart and Petco and get, like, a cat. But I don't think they sell dogs, except like at certain times of year. I don't know, but I do know there are a lot of regulations regarding dogs. Cats not so much because they just sort of lounge anyway.
We got so many cats out here that cats have cats. Like little cats own other cats and have to buy food for the cats. And
watching a cat walk a cat across the street while you're at a red light, it's kind of a catastrophe.
This is the #1 pet show, pet podcast.
Chris thinks my cat looks like the devil, so.
Oh, yeah.
He does. Oh, my God. So freaking creepy.
Cats are evil. All right. Anyway, moving on. This show is a community-created show. I met these guys, who are great guys, each and every one of them, through Facebook, just chatting, normally. And, just surrounded by people who, talk about our common hobby, gaming, has been great. I have had this idea to do podcasting for quite a while, and there was a talk in the little chats about, hey, we should do a podcast. And it just so happened that we took the idea and ran with it. And I think that we're living in an era that, due to technology, due to Facebook and communicating, that, you're able to find people with common interests. Not only that, but now we're able to do, more advanced stuff like this. So we're not the first gaming podcast, but we want to be the most community created, most community-centered podcast. So what we're all about is, if you actually want to be a co-host, if you want to be a special guest, if you want to email us with show topics, that's what we're all about. You create the show. We've asked for input from everything from the logo to the intro music to, again, if you want to be on the show, actually in person, we're going to work it out for you. So really quick, we're going to plug it later, but our email is podcastpa.email@gmail.com. So that's podcast, P like platinum, A like achievement. So podcastpa.email@gmail.com. And again, let us know if you want to be part of the show in any of these ways, or if you want a shout out. Speaking of shout outs, we're going to do our very first shout out, and I think I got to give it to, I'm going to let you say the name, Matt. Mel, can you introduce Mel, or the way to say her name?
Melanie Figueiredo?
We hope that that's right. Melanie, we hope that that is right. Melanie Figueiredo, we think. She is from Clarksville, Tennessee. She's AKA the Summoner, so you may see her by her monomer on Facebook. Now, Melanie was the person who invited me to the Facebook chat in the first place. She found me.
Myself, yeah.
Yeah, I was really...
Me too.
She brought in just a lot of people. She scouted us, if you would. And basically, I in particular, I shouldn't speak for anybody else, but I was kind of... I didn't like it wasn't like a community and other gaming chat around Facebook. You have some other podcasts that have, some different chats going on. It was just kind of negative, a lot of people, kind of crowded. So wanted to get away from that. But Melanie saved my life. She got me into this. Thank you very much, Melanie. She actually was one of the first people to listen to the show. We have done test recording episodes, and she found one that we thought was listed private, and she actually watched it. So she was on the YouTube channel, where you too can listen to us each and every week, released on Tuesdays. She saw one of our preview episodes that was supposed to be secret, and she got in there and she listened to us. So thank you. It wasn't just her. It was like other people. They're like, great show. So that was not supposed to happen, but thank you for listening anyway. You can find us on our YouTube channel. Just search the Platinum Achievement Podcast. We're going to be getting a short URL soon. We will be on iTunes soon. But please subscribe again to the YouTube channel, the Platinum Achievement Podcast. Now, Melanie, she's really good about chatting throughout the week on Facebook. She's got a lot of interesting things. She talked about being a co-host. She's very active out there. So thank you very much, Mel. You are our first shout out. We want to thank Tim Nestor, because Tim Nestor, shout out to you, sir, wrote in with a lot of good show topics, and he came up with this one. Tim is from Jamestown, Ohio, if I didn't mention it before. He and Chris Taylor were some of the other people who listened to our show early. They got those test preview episodes. So thank you very much, Tim Nestor. Thank you very much, Chris Taylor. They were both emailing in, and they're very interested in keeping this show fresh with their ideas. So his idea right now, and I think we may even be making it a recurring one on the show. You never forget your first. Now we're going to talk about our first system, our first games we ever played, fill in the blank, but you never forget your first. And this week we are going to be exploring your very first online gaming experience. So anybody have their first online gaming experience that they want to share with us?
Mine was Halo 2, believe it or not. I remember an old roommate I had. When he moved in, he brought his Xbox, and he's like, yeah, we can play against people online. And I'm like, are you serious? That's crazy. We did that. We didn't have mics at the time, but I just remember wandering in and watching everybody that looked like Master Chief, just like I did, moving around and basically killing me for the first 5 matches. I had I probably still have one of the worst kill death ratios in history, but that's okay.
Noob.
Maybe. But then again, the last time I had played a proper first person shooter before Halo 2, it was GoldenEye, where you didn't have to look up, you just had to look left to right. So trying to get used to that y-axis was just crazy for me. But then I got mics and then realized how people can be super racist just for no reason. And
so first came online gaming, second came racism on online gaming.
And homophobic.
Yeah.
And homophobia.
But see, I didn't experience homophobia
Slurs.
till 2 years later. But when I was playing FIFA, and I got really good at FIFA. But yeah, Halo 2 was probably the first, and it was just a beautiful experience. Xbox Live was great at that time, and I still don't think I primarily game on PS4 now, but I still don't think
Trader.
the PlayStation Network is as good as Xbox Live in that respect.
How long did it take you for your brain to process what was happening? Because me, you look back on it, and can somebody look up online what year that was that Halo 2 online gaming started? It was available right out of the gate, and I know that, and it wasn't broken, which was incredible.
It was 2004.
2004, and online gaming worked. Okay, very first major on console Xbox Live game, and I remember being shocked at first. I mean, it really didn't connect in my mind that it was, maybe I just didn't know that it was possible. So I was like, what do you mean we plugged this into the Xbox and the internet? It took a second for me to understand what was going on. I remember I was on Ascension, I'm going up that ramp, and somebody just flies off the top of the tower, dual SMGing me. I'm dual SMGing him instinctively, again, which I talked before about how instinctive it was, which talks about the gaming mechanics, how good they were. And I remember he killed me, and I was just outsmarted by another person. God knows where. I don't know where this person is. And that got me addicted to online gaming, because it was about skill at that point. It's we're kind of on equal level. We're on these maps, and it's just who can outsmart the other person. And it hasn't gotten old. I like multiplayer shooters, multiplayer online in general. That's the allure for me anyway. I want to see, can I be better? Can I be, outsmarting these people? What's the new experience going to be that, you know, we can interact with, like, where are we going to be, how are we going to be fighting, and it's just, you know, changing that up. But classic, like, it blew me away then. And you know, there's some rust on it now. You know, things are like Call of Duty is more about who can twitch faster. You know, you're gonna be dead in a second. You're creeping up on people from you know, killing them by shooting them in the back, basically. And you know, the whole like spawning thing. But Halo 2, man, I agree, like, amazing experience. How about you guys?
There was just something beautiful about it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So my first experience, I can't really remember, but it's definitely got to be on PC. And the closest thing I can remember, sort of, I think, is in the 90s, where I used to play Doom on sort of a network, where it was sort of the same thing. We used to network our computers together. It used to be over LAN, TCP, IP protocol. All these, I used to do all these sort of things before, back in the day. And that's when I was clever. But now it's so easy to get everything up and running. But yes, games like Doom, Unreal, Quake. I think one of the time I played properly online was probably Counter-Strike. When Counter-Strike came out, that was one of the big ones. And also, I remember I don't know how far ago this was, but I remember playing Command and Conquer, Red Alert 2. I think it was Red Alert 2. I remember playing that. That was, I don't know if it was Red Alert. I don't know if it was online or not, but yeah, Quake Live was amazing. There was a few games, but I think with online gaming, it's something I always expected to happen. I wasn't like amazed when it happened. I was like, this is what should have been like for ages. Like, it was something like, I felt as a natural progression. I was never like, wow, it's amazing. I was always like, oh, okay, this is great, this is fantastic, this is what I want, but I expected it to come. And even on the PS2, I used to have this weird network adapter, and I never used it. But
Well, even going back as far as the Dreamcast, they had online capabilities. It was just so hard.
yeah, it was so difficult. Yeah, like, it wasn't. And nowadays, everyone's got sort of better internet and things like that. Like, I think it's just much easier to get to now. But at the time, I think doing sort of LAN parties and networking, that was my first experience of sort of not being in the same room and gaming. Like, that was it was pretty amazing. But it's something I always expected to happen. But I can't say that my first experience was this, but it's definitely got to be, I think it's Unreal, Quake, one of those type of games where I've played online. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to look it up now, and you bring up a good point that, you know, us console people, like, you know, picked up on this trend later. It's not like Xbox Live was the very first, you know, people
PC
to do
gaming was
PC gaming, the LAN parties, you know, that goes way back. Are you aware of? I'm trying to look it up now. The very first online gaming on PC, like the first thing that you could LAN. I wonder. Somebody out there, email us.
LAN is different than, you know, online.
Yeah, it's different than online.
Definitely.
But doesn't it? It's the same type of experience, though, isn't it?
Not necessarily.
No,
because with LANs you have to hook up the
You're
computers
limited
to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
isn't it
limited, but what
more
it was-
fun to know the people that they're near you? I mean,
That's not an argument, but like for being like online connected, I actually think maybe Halo 2 isn't my first, because I remember in the first Diablo you could go online, right?
Yeah, Diablo as well. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Diablo.
Diablo 2 I played online,
Big
but
one.
I can't remember Diablo 1. I know you can play LAN in Diablo 1, but I don't remember if you can play online in Diablo 1. I know with 2 you can, definitely.
Well, I remember. I think I'm actually having, you know, fuzzy memories of playing Diablo and watching other people just sort of twitch around the screen, because this is back in the age of like 14.4 and what were the other modems? I don't know, like 28.8 or something like that. Back before 56K was even on the horizon. You could do online gaming, but like I think the one that sort of made it, you know, like, oh, this is really a legitimate thing now, was probably, for me, Halo 2.
It says here on Wikipedia, as the internet started to grow during the 1990s, software was developed that would allow players to tunnel the LAN protocols used by the games over the internet. By the late 1990s, most RTS games, so like Command and Conquer, had native internet support, allowing players from all over the globe to play with each other. Services were created, blah, 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 to automatically match people. And so basically they're saying that RTS was some of the first, you know, when they're
Was
talking
it
about
Red
that.
Alert?
Again, it's not saying here, and I bet they just, like, Wikipedia, like, they don't want to say, or maybe they don't know or something like that. But I don't really see a first here. I'm sure somebody in the comments of the show on YouTube, or if you want to email us, maybe maybe you were the very first person in that test, whatever. Somebody had to do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Somebody had to be the first. I'd love to interview that guy.
Yeah. No, there were loads of MMORPGs about, so I'm sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
They count as games, right? Do they count as games? Yeah.
Yeah, they count.
Yeah. I got into gaming really, really deep because of Counter-Strike, and it was a multiplayer game. You guys have internet cafes, or?
Yeah, we still do.
Yes.
Not really in Chicago. There's no internet cafes. I mean, not really. There's
Because
Starbucks.
people in the Midwest don't want to talk to each other.
No, I don't know if it's the same kind of internet cafe, but it's a place where you go, there's computers, and you can play games against each other. Or it's not the same thing?
No, there are. Never mind. There's some places in Chicago. I think one of them's called Ignite. If I'm not mistaken, they have like video game like clubs and things like that. They have massive screens, all the systems. You can go. You pay like, not too much money, and you can game by the hour. People hang out there.
Yeah, exactly. So this is very popular in Lebanon because everything is so expensive. Computers are expensive. PlayStation were and before they were so expensive, so people couldn't afford PCs or consoles. So they used to go to these places, these internet cafes, and we used to play. They're the only three games we played the most: Generals, Command and Conquer,
Yeah.
Counter-Strike.
Good game.
Yeah, Counter-Strike and Dota. So I really got into gaming when we played Counter-Strike LAN. But online gaming, our internet is so slow. I mean, my internet is 6 megabits. You know how slow is that?
No.
No idea.
Short answer, no. We're spoiled over here in the Americas.
Yeah, so online gaming with computers, it was fair because they had dedicated servers. I used to play World of Warcraft since 2005, and it would run, okay, it's not very smooth, but would run pretty well. But console online, it came very late in Lebanon when our internet upgraded from cable to DSL. Yes, DSL is a new thing for us.
Whoa. Sorry.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah, so console gaming for me, my first game was, I actually tried to play console online with Call of Duty at War, but I used to lag all the time. I was like, I really hate this. I can't play this. I can't, because I used to lag all the time. So when we upgraded to DHL, my first online gaming, maybe, I don't know, very recent, maybe Battlefield 3, console-wise. Yeah, Battlefield 3 was my first online experience. I was like, it's like, okay, it's not fun, because I'm used to LAN gaming with friends, and it's so great to play with friends. If you are in the same room, you can tell each other where this guy is. You're always, in an environment where there's a lot of energy. But with online, I don't know, kind of lost that.
Chris is going to be teaching us a lot, like we said. Not only that, but Imran, about, the cultures and how different we are. I mean, just things are from, the money exchange, the power of the dollar versus the power of the euro, or wherever you guys are. What do you guys use over there, Imran? Euro, right?
Pounds, sterling, pounds.
Pound sterling. Well,
We don't use euros. We're like, no to euros. I don't know why, but
you're the holdouts,
no.
right?
Because you're England and you're always behind. That's why.
Because we're cool like that. That's why. We have to be different. Like,
Yeah. So
but yeah, I don't think they wanna. The pounds. I don't know.
that's what's something that's going to be unique about the show, is because we're going to be able to do that cultural exchange, if you will, and make sure that we're all on this, learning from each other, learning how things are. So Chris has some unique situations where, in Lebanon they have, electricity problems, internet's kind of slow, a little behind. And this is something I thought about when we first started all chatting and talking about this. Just it's just amazing, what we take for granted over here, in the States, and our internet speed, and where things are going, things like that. And in the future, they're talking about eliminating lag altogether. Things are going to be getting so fast with Google what's Google's test program for like ultra fast internet? There's like a couple
Fiber
towns.
optics.
Yeah, like fiber optics and like, you know, running everything through glass basically. And you know, there's a lot of talk out there about when we're gonna get to this point where, you know, just the ping issues are gonna be like out the door. It's gonna be like a time where there's not gonna be any lag. We're gonna be able to do even more than we are right now, and it's just crazy to, you know, find that, like, you know, like you said, DSL brand new, like top, you know, that's something that you guys are kind of like appreciating just now. So yeah, kind of crazy if you ask me, but you know, USA, that's all I gotta say. Fallout 4. How can we not talk about Fallout 4? I'm super excited about it. Anybody want to go ahead and start the conversation? We don't really have any, you know, any main points to cover about it, but I just want to hear everybody gush.
To quote Leonard Cohen, I've seen the future and it is murder. God damn, that game looks good.
Oh, it does look amazing. People hating on it though.
Yeah, people hate. I mean, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, these graphics aren't good. Fallout is a series that, you know, I mean, if you played the original Fallout, for instance, like horrible graphics. Well, I don't know if they were good back then, but let's take it back to, you know, just Fallout 3. Graphics weren't that good, but it was an amazing game. It's not about the graphics, right?
Yeah, it's not about the graphics at all. Fallout 2 was a completely different game. It was completely different. It was like top down or however it was.
I understand people hating the game because of the graphics, because if you take Witcher 3, it's a massive game, right? And it has amazing graphics. And Fallout also is a big game. So not having, you know, there's no excuse for it. It's like, okay, it's a big game, so we're gonna tone down the graphics. But if you take The Witcher, it's a massive game, but has amazing graphics. I think people, that's why they are upset about.
Because they're comparing it to Witcher.
Yeah,
And other games that are, you know, I guess you could
other
argue
games
a lot
that
better
are
looking.
massive. Yeah, they are massive, like Dragon Age Inquisition or Witcher 3. They are massive open world games, but they have amazing graphics.
No, but all those games, they focus a lot on combat as well. But Fallout isn't really about combat. It's about like exploring and finding and speaking to people. And obviously the shooting and stuff, it's not good. The VAT system, it does its thing, and it's like, to me, that's just a side part of the game. But the real thing is exploring and talking to people and finding out what is going on and what's happened in this huge world. With The Witcher and Dragon Age, I'm like, yo, where's my sword? I need my sword. I need to start killing some people. Like, I really feel like I just want to get around and just chop some heads off. But in Fallout, it's not like that at all. You don't really, like, you want to build relationships and find out what is happening here and what's going on and what's the deeper mystery that's happening in the world there. So that's why I don't know. I don't think it's a fair comparison. But I can see what people are saying when they're comparing it to, like, even GTA is an open world game. It looks amazing compared to Fallout. So
I'm not trying to compare the, you know, the combat or the system. I'm just comparing the graphics. So I'm just trying to say that yes, both are big open world games. Why can this game have amazing graphics? Why can't Fallout?
To counteract the graphical hate, I mean, let's talk about games like Aliens Colonial Marines or Watch Dogs that had fantastic graphics. Dark Souls 2, remember when you saw the previews for that? The PS3 version didn't look anything like that. So maybe they're just saying, okay, here's what we're doing. Because after all, we don't know when this game is coming out. We
This
don't.
year.
Do we know that?
Yeah,
say
I've been
2015.
hearing rumors.
Yeah.
Tell them the date,
Okay.
guys. Announce
Okay.
it officially.
Rumors?
Announce the rumor officially.
The only rumors worthwhile listening to is the Fleetwood Mac album from the 70s. So,
I heard October.
If I say it, it's true.
October, what was it?
Yeah, whatever Chris says goes.
Somebody said it was the day that the war started, like officially in like the lore. It was October 23rd. Is that right? Anyway, I'm spreading rumors. October 23rd, run with it.
I wouldn't buy that for free. Look, we level criticisms at so many companies for doing the whole vertical slice thing. Maybe they're just tempering things because they know hype for this game has been extensive since Skyrim released, because it's the same team that did Skyrim. Because Todd Howard, he does a Fallout and Elder Scrolls, then a Fallout. So like the only time they really weren't too excited was New Vegas because Obsidian released that, and it had its problems when it released, as did Fallout, as did Skyrim. But the thing is, wait for the game to come out. I mean, I know it's hard. I loved Fallout 3 just as much as the next person, I guess, except Chris. But wait for the game.
I never said I hated the game.
Okay, for the
I
record,
never did.
for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
record,
don't
Chris
hate
has
on me,
played
please.
Fallout 3 for 30 minutes. Is that right?
He didn't get out of the vault.
He's still a baby. You know,
didn't-
the
he didn't get out of his
tutorial,
crib.
the
He didn't get out of
amazing
the cot,
tutorial
yeah.
where you're a baby. He was still a baby. He left it there, right? Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, but there was like so much yapping. It's like, I want to play. I want to kill some people.
He didn't make it
Yeah,
out of
that's
the
the
vault,
difference.
which is one of the top moments in gaming, in my opinion. Like you were talking about that, right, Matt?
Yeah, everybody talks about the young Drake moment from the Uncharted series. Baby Fallout 3. I'm sorry. I'll take it.
I loved it. I really liked the baby book thing and the whole
Yeah.
the goat. Like was it the test
Yeah,
kind
the
of thing
goat.
you're taking?
Yeah.
I thought that was great. So we're gonna try to publicly shame Chris into playing this game, giving it a
No.
legit chance. He said no. He said he'll
No.
play Fallout 4.
Yeah, Fallout 4 definitely 100%.
If they remastered Fallout 3, would you play that on PS4?
Yes.
'Cause I think that's the thing.
He's
innit? Like,
he's
going
addicted to
backwards.
graphics. That's it. That's what's going on. Going
If
back
that
to
happened, I'd play it.
yeah, right.
Like, because it doesn't hold up. It's like, I'm trying to play
you-
this, it doesn't hold up.
I've
at all.
gone
Like,
back
I
and
can't-
played Fallout 3 like four or five times already. Seriously, it holds up.
Like, I can't play old games. Like, I play Final Fantasy 7 all the time. I play, I don't know, 8-bit games all the time. But I just can't. I don't know. It doesn't hold up well.
It's interesting you say that because
There's something to that. There is something to that because I remember loving the N64 and I can't go back and play those games. I love the
are
my
you kidding me?
PlayStation
I have an
1. I can't go back
N64
and play
right
those
there. I'm all over Smash. There's a lot of good games for N64.
I'm
now.
gonna FedEx you some cookies, my friend. Congratulations. I'm just saying I can't.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. Hate
yeah.
on the classics. That's gonna be on you.
No. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying I can't go back and play.
Going back to what you were saying one more time about the graphics, like we kind of go down that route saying truth in advertising. They're basically, we're expecting that they're going to skip the graphics downgrade and just say here's really how it's going to look so we don't disappoint you later, which is good. That type of honesty is welcome. But what happens if it's looking the way it does? Again, supposedly that's like the in-engine, it's actual like kind of what gameplay is going to look like just right there in the first preview video. What if it does get a graphics downgrade even further and it starts looking even worse than that? What if we're wrong about them trying to they're probably trying to optimize and say, okay, let's only do so much. Let's only make it look so pretty so everything maybe runs more smoothly. But what if we get a graphics downgrade? What then?
If it runs smoothly, I'm happy with that. As long as it runs smoothly, that's the main thing. Because Fallout's never been about the graphics for me. Like I've always thought that. Obviously, I played it on PS3 and it was like, it was so buggy and stuff. But I still loved it so much. But if they were to downgrade the graphics further, I think it put a lot of people off. That might happen. A lot of new comers to the game, to the series. But yeah, it wouldn't change my perception of it at all. I just want to play it really badly now. That's all.
What I don't like about Fallout 3 is graphically only. Sorry, I'm not talking about gameplay. Maybe gameplay is awesome. I believe it's awesome. Don't hate on me. But I'm just trying
It's
to say,
really not.
yeah.
It's all right.
But it's very gloomy and very blurry, the graphics. That's how I felt. If Fallout 4 was downgraded but sharp and clean, I would still play it. I don't care.
The other thing about Fallout is, a lot of people are saying that they were playing it safe, especially what they showed. I mean, there wasn't anything really new. It was kind of like telling people there's power armor, there's Nuka-Cola, there's energy weapons, there's the same characters, the same monsters, but nothing like really new. But I have a lot of faith in what they're doing. I think they've spent enough time where, they're not going to play it safe. And that was just kind of like a magician, kind of like, hey, look over here. So when they do pop out with like all this new stuff, I just have a lot of faith that they're going to break new ground from everything, weapons, enemies,
But
perks. I'm really excited.
Isn't the main protagonist has a voice now, right?
You know what?
yeah,
Now that
apparently
you
has a
mention
voice.
it, he does speak. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
he
even think
does.
about
No,
that.
there was Did you read this sort of whole Reddit post that said about Fallout? Or I don't know if you guys read it. It's like apparently, people say it's fake, but about 11 months ago, some Bethesda employee who got sacked or whatever released all this information about Fallout, and they're saying it's got a voiceover and it's going to be set in Boston, and there's some
Don't
other
tell me,
website,
spoiler.
can't
No.
remember the name.
Spoiler.
No,
I mean, we know it's
not.
in Boston.
So we know it's in Boston. You know, there's a voiceover.
Yeah,
but
spoiler
no, but,
alert. There's a whole list out there that may or may not be
but
true.
like no. But then there's another website which refuted the whole claims. But yeah, he speaks at the end, so I don't know. Maybe he does have a voiceover.
Yeah.
I'm not sure at all. But yeah, he speaks. That's new.
Don't spoil
I don't know if that's good or not
for
because
me. I mean, I want to come in this thing fresh. I shouldn't have watched the video. I should have went
yeah,
completely.
you know the trailer. I felt the trailer was for fans of the game. Sorry, I don't think it was for
fan
like
service.
to bring.
That didn't offer anything at all.
That was
fan
it was
service.
not for. Yeah, it had
was for-
like you said, it had Nuka-Cola, Pit Boys there in the background. That it was for the fans of the game, people who love Fallout. It's not for to draw new people into it. That's what it was. That's how I see the trailer.
Maybe they were trying to attract Call of Duty Ghost players with the dog.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like nobody jumped in on the dog hate, because remember when Call of Duty Ghosts came out and everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, a stupid dog."
I thought they loved the dog. I thought that was the story.
Did they? I remember a lot of hate being thrown at that dog.
They
German
I love the
Shepherd-
dog in Fallout.
That German Shepherd took a lot of crap, if I remember correctly.
No,
I
the
might be
Call of
wrong.
Duty dog, yeah. No,
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
that. It was a Microsoft conference, wasn't it? Like dog, sport, like that whole
Yeah,
thing.
exactly,
That's all they
yeah.
talked about. They just didn't talk about anything else. But in the game, yeah, the dog was cool. It was
Well,
alright.
see,
I
now
liked
that's
the
what
dog.
Bethesda's conference is going to be. It's going to be like, hey, we got a dog this time out. Huh?
The dog was there before, so.
Puppy in the apocalypse. Huh? Huh?
You know what? Let me just throw out the big question out, and I'm dying to hear what you guys' theories is about this. But we have Bethesda doing a conference at E3, kicking it off even. They don't usually do that. Why? Oh, why do they release this trailer before E3?
Because they knew it was going to get leaked.
Yeah, exactly.
You think so?
They can control it this way.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Todd Howard after, what was it, the video, well, whatever it was then, like the Spike Video Games Awards, when he announced Skyrim. I remember him doing interviews, like, shortly after that. He was saying, wow, I'm shocked as shit that didn't get released, that didn't get leaked. So I think this time there's just so much hype around Fallout. He's, let's just do this right away. We'll tell him a little bit more about it at the conference. Because they've also got, Doom as well.
Yeah.
I think I know they have a couple other properties, but they
Dishonored.
Well, they got to fill an hour, right? Isn't it an hour long?
They can fill an hour with Fallout, though. Let's
Yeah.
be real
Yeah.
about this. I mean, they could. They won't, but they could.
So they're
They've
going to
got-
show gameplay. Is that what you're saying? They have to.
Probably. We'll see something.
I think what Bethesda did was very clever because they controlled the hype, Because if you take Street Fighter V, it was leaked before they even announced it, and when people saw it, it's like, oh, okay, we already saw this. So putting a timer on the website, people got more hype. Everybody can't wait. Everybody was posting on their TV sets. I'm waiting for 14 hours. Then they actually released it 1 hour earlier to be safe. So yeah, I think it's a smart move.
And see, and the best part is they're hyped for what they know is coming.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I mean, anybody in their right mind who thought Fallout 4 wasn't in development, wake up. But everybody knew that the next thing Todd Howard's team was going to announce was going to be a Fallout.
So
Yeah, of course.
I believe that they're going to show gameplay. I believe that they're going to give a release date. And I believe that Fallout will be a timed exclusive on a console, on Xbox, and I think
No
it's going to
way.
move systems. I'm just
No
wait,
way.
wait. Yes.
I think I agree with
No.
Antonio on this one.
You know what? If I'm Xbox and I can put one pony out there to run the race, I dump money. I mean, it's not like timed exclusivity is unheard of, but if I wanted to kind of jack up my console sales and I wanted to do it in a way that was going to be a sure thing, then I would be in talks with Bethesda about timed exclusivity because I know it's going to move consoles. That's my little theory about how you go and you try to win E3, how you try to, do that. And I think maybe they don't mention that at Bethesda's conference and they do at Xbox. So it's kind of like, right there. I mean, you're telling me that it's impossible, or are you telling me it's not plausible, or what?
Maybe
That
at
is not
time.
plausible.
Why not? That's what I'm saying.
Maybe-
It's just why not?
Because on the website,
It's not going to hurt
for a start,
sales.
it's got on the website it's got PS4, Xbox One, PC.
Yep.
And they've got their own conference as well, so I thought they'd tie it in with Microsoft if they were ever going to do something like that. And Fallout I just can't see it happening at all, not in the slightest. I don't see, because it's not a game that, I don't think it's a console shifter as well. Like, people like Fallout, but
What?
it's not like, no, I don't think it's like a game. Like, it's like people get hyped about something like Street Fighter. Like, I got so many people who go, I love fighting games, so I'm going to get a PS4.
No, Fallout is a console seller, I guarantee you.
No. I agree it's a console seller, but I don't think that it'll put people off if it's a timed exclusive. It'll go against Bethesda.
No
won't
one's
work
gonna
for
not
them
buy
at all.
Fallout. See, that's my argument. It's not gonna hurt sales because no one on PlayStation is gonna be like, I'm not gonna buy this thing. Then no, I mean it's gonna
but
sell
it'll
just
hurt
as
that.
many.
It'll hurt their image. It'll hurt their image a lot, I think.
You want to know why it won't, Imran? I'll tell you why it won't.
Go on.
And
Why?
it exists in two letters. PC.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's on
Bethesda
PC as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Bethesda develops their stuff PC first. They've
Yeah.
said that. And then the easiest thing, I don't know, I'm not smart, but the easiest thing comparably would probably be a Microsoft console because PC.
But isn't like the PS4 so easy to develop for these days? Was not the big thing about it?
Be
Like,
that
it's, like,
as it
super
may,
easy to-
Bethesda had a lot of questions to answer with the PS3 version of Skyrim, and maybe they just want to make sure out the gate they're going to take the time, make sure it works. I don't know, but I could see them doing a timed exclusivity with Microsoft.
That was a disaster. You couldn't play it. You couldn't play it on the PlayStation.
I just do not see that happening at all.
Like, the reason I have not played Skyrim was because I heard so many of my friends complaining about it, and so I'm like, okay, I will start something else, and I never got to play Skyrim.
That's huge.
If it did happen, for the record, I'll buy on Xbox One. Like, I just have to be the first person to buy it. But
See?
I just don't. No, I just don't see it happening. I don't see why they on their website why they'd have all three lined up in a row. I don't know if you've seen the site. It's got pre-order now, and it's got all three there just lined up. They're not going to do stuff like that. Like, it will not happen.
We shall see.
Well, now this is the difference between Bethesda and probably a company like Square Enix, where everybody flipped about the Tomb Raider thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So they're probably saying, okay, yeah, it will be on PS4. Maybe not at first. But Bethesda's going to say, no, we want these people to know that it is going to come to their console.
Nobody thought Tomb Raider was going to be timed exclusive. Nobody thought that Street Fighter was going to be exclusive. Right? Street Fighter is totally exclusive, right?
It's PlayStation
that's
4
ridiculous,
and PC.
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, nobody
But-
thought these things were going to happen. So maybe this is just going to be one more step in that direction.
But with Capcom, it makes
can't
sense
see it.
because they were economically in a bad shape, so they needed a safe way out.
They were
That's why-
economically and creatively in bad shape.
No,
Yeah.
actually money-wise, because I think they were selling parts of their company, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why.
definitely.
Creatively.
Yeah, that's why they took a safe bet with PlayStation. But Bethesda, I don't think they have. I'm butchering that name. I don't think they are in a bad shape. They have money, so
No.
and a No.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying no,
Yeah,
they're
but-
not in bad shape.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
having a juggernaut game like Fallout, I don't know how much Microsoft is gonna throw buckets of gold at their faces so they can say yes, it's time exclusive, because it will sell a lot of copies. I don't know, it doesn't make sense business wise to make it time exclusive, but with Square Enix it does, because Tomb Raider is not okay. It is hype, but it's not like Fallout. It's not, because
Yeah.
it's starting to get annoying. Fallout, just as annoying it got with Half-Life 3. It is like Half-Life 3, and bottom was like Fallout 4. It was.
Yeah, I'm with you there. People need to shut up about Half-Life 3. We'll be lucky if it happens. Just accept it when it does, if it does.
That's how you win E3. Yeah. Half-Life 3. Exclusive on Xbox. Now.
And PC is having their own conference, so maybe Gabe Newell could say, yeah, it's in development. Now you can shut the hell up.
I would be so impressed with Microsoft.
Fun fact that episode 4 for Half-Life 2 was already in development. So there is an episode 3 somewhere hidden, but they are not releasing it.
But yeah, like I said, no, if Microsoft do that, hats off to them. That would be amazing. Like, they would win E3 hands down if they made Fallout a timed exclusive.
Oh, definitely.
That's the point. Yeah, because it would be a sure bet. It wouldn't be like...
Hats off to them. That's it. It's not like Tomb Raider.
That would definitely catch them up to PlayStation 4 and then some. I mean...
You think so?
Definitely.
Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like 100%.
Like...
Yeah, but Tomb Raider isn't the game that will make me... Okay, should I pay $400 to play a game that will come out on my PS4? It's not
yeah,
like
not
Fallout.
Tomb Raider, but definitely Fallout. I would say yes.
Fallout,
that's what we're assuming. We're assuming yes. We're assuming that people are super fans. And, you never played through 3, so you can't talk about it. So that'll be...
Timed exclusives are like pointless anyway. Should be exclusives and non-exclusives. I don't see the point. Like, what's the point?
And to be fair, I think Antonio's just saying it's a possibility. I don't really... I mean...
It's what I would do. If I had the deep pockets like Microsoft... And I really cared. They don't make a whole lot of moves like that to get them out of the situation as far as selling the consoles. Like everybody says, they seem to be content with selling the number that they have. It's not like horrible. We know that console sales are, as a whole very healthy when people didn't expect it to be that way this gen. But they haven't really talked about making that move where they're like striving to overtake PlayStation. They don't even really talk like that. They seem to be even kind of friendly. On the Twitter, like kind of talking about the company's congratulations on this game, etc. So they seem to be cordial, but what if they're just like playing possum and they're waiting to make a move at E3? That's all I'm saying. Like, if they wanted to win or sell consoles, they could, and this would be a way. But, they don't seem to have that bloodlust to go out there and win it. They just don't seem like they're trying to do that. If they were more aggressive, if they were like trying to do it, it doesn't just seem like anybody wants to go for that killing blow. But that would be one, I think.
Dovetailing on what you're saying, Antonio, like coming out of the last gen, Xbox 360, was definitely, if we want to talk console wars, Xbox 360 probably still won it, even though PlayStation 3 eventually caught up. But they also watched PlayStation at the time of PlayStation 3 make a lot of stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
And
PlayStation
I think,
Home.
And Xbox One, for all intents and purposes, was a marketing disaster, prior to release. So they're probably just saying, okay, instead of trying to PR our way out of this hole, let's just be quiet. We'll make the moves quietly. We'll make the financial moves quietly, and then see what kind of chess game we can set up outside of the public eye. And that makes more sense from a business standpoint. Whereas, in the era of the PS3, Sony was so trying to just say, oh, look at us, we're actually really good. Oh, we crapped the bed again. So
yeah.
On this day in gaming history, this day, it's June 9th, 2000.
That'll be the day that people actually get this, so that'll be on the Tuesday.
Yes. Nightmare Creatures 2 was released on Dreamcast. The PlayStation 1 version was released 2 months earlier in April, way back in the year 2000.
And tell us who published it. This is Nightmare Creatures 2.
Published by Konami.
Konami, who has made the news lately by everybody off.
Who don't care about games no more. But then again, they really don't need to with all the other businesses they have. It was developed by Callisto Entertainment. And Nightmare Creatures 2 was it received mixed to negative reviews. Aggregating review websites like Game Rankings and Metacritic gave the PlayStation version 63.63%, and the Dreamcast version not even 50 at 49.06.
So the rank of the Dreamcast version got a 49% favorable rating. PlayStation obviously way better, 63%. I'm not sure what the
controller, yo.
Is that what it was? The controller probably hurt that game. Nightmare Creatures, you guys remember that? Again, this is the sequel But I did put it in there that the original was released in 1997. This is the sequel that was released in 2000. Did you guys play that way back when?
I think I actually had the original for Nintendo 64, but I don't remember playing it.
I actually didn't know it was on the 64. I assumed
The
it was just
original was.
PlayStation only.
The original was.
The original was, okay.
Yeah, I played the second one, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't. I don't know. It was alright. I played Nightmare Creatures too. I just remember it's like a sort of what was it? It's like a sort of horror type game, wasn't it? Survival horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can remember. Yeah, it wasn't something that stuck in my mind, but yeah, now you mentioned it. Yeah, I remember playing that.
Going way back, I don't know. I remember getting some type of they used to do demo discs like attached to the. What was the? I don't know.
Those are the days.
What publication would that have been way back when in the PlayStation 1 days, where you got the magazine and it came with the disc with the demos in it?
I don't know if official PlayStation magazine was around, but
yeah,
it was
OPM,
probably like it was probably there, or maybe Electronic Gaming Monthly.
It could have been EGM, yeah, because I've always been an EGM guy, like going way back. But
yeah, man, Sushi X knew his stuff.
Sushi X, oh my god, classic. So basically, for all you kids out there, we used to get paper printed publication magazines about gaming. I mean, they're still out there. It's not, they're gonna push them to you at GameStop, what have you. But these used to be pretty big, and they would come with these demo discs, and they'd have like maybe 2 demos on there, and they'd cram like 4 more videos in there or something like that about upcoming games. And I think that was the first time I played Nightmare Creatures. So you take it home, pop that little disc into your PlayStation, play it like, whatever, couple times, 10, 15 times until you got sick of it. But that was actually a really good idea. I really liked that. That was the modern day equivalent of demos just being released kind of, digitally. But I really like getting that disc. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, those were great.
It made the demo a bit more special. I remember like I had to. What was it? I think it was Pro Evolution Soccer in 2004 or 3 or something. I can't remember what it was. Pro Evolution Soccer 5. And I remember like going to the game store and just getting the demo and being so excited. But now I just download it and it's just like, oh, whatever, play it for 10 minutes. But when you have the disc, it's just like something else. It's like, wow, I've got a disc. And
yeah, there was something
really
about
cool
that disc.
then.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah. I used to like the magazines because they come with the cheat code book, if you guys know that.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I used to love those. Like, all the cheats of GTA, and there was like post-internet era.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Right.
it's like all of your friends, how do you know this? Do you know the jetpack code? Do you know this, this unlimited health code? It was awesome. I used to always like the magazines because of the awesome posters they give out.
Oh, yeah, the posters. Man, you know what? We're missing out on a lot, guys. I didn't realize.
And the posters, you know what I didn't like about the posters is this side has really awesome cover and the other side has this really awesome cover too. Which one should I pick? And so that's why I always go buy twice the magazine.
Yeah, we're missing out on way too much, guys.
Well, Game Informer nowadays is probably the main torchbearer of the video game magazine. But they do, like, I think they present their cover stories really well. Whether or not you agree with what's written in them, that's a different story. But I think the presentation is they still take a great deal of care. Like I remember when BioShock Infinite when they had that as a cover issue, they released like 3 separate covers, and they look like old Norman Rockwell paintings. Like they look fantastic. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of still around in a very limited capacity, but you're right. It is such a cool thing.
I think I have like hundreds of EGMs, Electronic Gaming Monthly mags, like right over there, like next to me in like this huge pile, and like I just don't throw them away. I still keep them to this day. I mean, one day, maybe I'll have to dump them, but I mean that's my collection right there. I would pore over those things, like read it front to back, reread some stuff. Things were different back then, and like Chris was saying about the pre-internet era, like how else would you know? It's even kind of like I mentioned with this show, like before Facebook, before we could easily communicate as gamers, I really wanted to know what other people's opinions were. The reviews meant a lot more because, you had access to less of them, and, maybe you didn't have as many people that you could talk to about gaming. And I just that was like one of our first like connections, something that everybody was reading, you could talk to about, that you can kind of like cherish. And yeah, I think we're missing a lot. I mean, the posters, the demo discs, like all that stuff they used to do is, I think we're missing out on some of that, and it's a shame.
Yeah, The Witcher, I'm sure he had a poster in there or something. He had something in there. He had a map. I can't remember what else he had in there. He had some bits. Dragon Ball Z had a little poster in the game. I remember that.
Yeah, but I think he was talking about like posters that are released in like magazines. That doesn't really happen anymore.
Well, now that's the way to do it now.
I don't think anybody buys magazines anymore. That's why, like, I don't know, like,
I still do because I'm old.
But they're so expensive.
like film magazines, they still get posters in them. Like Empire here, you get posters every now and then.
I still get a Mojo subscription. Does that count? I don't know.
Now, Chris, you were saying that you told us that you got The Witcher and you got the most deluxe edition of The Witcher. Is that right?
Yeah, the collector's edition. I got it on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Okay, so you're telling me that you bought this game 3 times? Okay, and in that Ultimate Collector's Edition, you got that one for PlayStation, right?
No, the collector's was Xbox One because you get extra stuff. You get the Gwent cards, and you also get a cloth map.
So basically how we got like these little freebies and little perks in the publications before, now some of the really smart devs like CD Projekt Red with Witcher are actually giving people, a lot of extras. I mean, you're paying for it, but there's some really cool stuff coming in there. So we used to get like posters and all that before, but in this paid deluxe version, there's like this really cool map in there, right?
Yeah, the map is made of cloth.
Real cloth?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
because Chris Ball's Lebanese large.
Yeah, but the Xbox One version only. The PS4, you don't get that. You don't get the Gwent and the map.
So there's differences between them?
Yeah, the Xbox One collectors and PS4, yes.
So it kind of pulled you that way to the Xbox, you were saying, right?
Yes.
That's pretty. What's the coolest thing in that when you get the Super Deluxe version?
Stop saying Super Deluxe version, right?
What is it called?
Collector's Edition.
The McBiggity size or whatever you want to call it.
Super Mad Wicked Huge Deluxe Edition.
Yeah, the statue is awesome. But overall the statue is awesome. The detail, the painting, everything is awesome. But Geralt doesn't have eyes.
Oh, like they're just
Doesn't have
hollow, a
eyes?
hollow skull.
Yeah, they are hollow. I thought it was just my statue like this, but
It's missing the eyeballs. What?
Yeah, no eyeballs. My friend who lives in Dubai, he doesn't have eyeballs. My friend who lives in Belgium, also his statue didn't came with eyeballs. All of the statues are like this. Like, it's very weird.
Well, you didn't see that article on the internet where it was only like the first like 15 actually had eyes? No, I'm kidding. That's a lie.
I was like,
Can we just change the name to Super Mega Deluxe Edition? Wouldn't you rather be buying that instead? I mean, you guys are like, you're knocking me for calling it that, but that sounds way better than Collector's Edition.
It does. I'm with you. I'm just saying it's called collectors. But Super Deluxe is more awesome.
Super Mega Deluxe Ultra Combo.
Championship Edition Turbo.
With fries and a
Alpha.
A Diet
Happy
Coke.
Meal.
XL.
Okay.
Burger King Kids Club. I don't know.
All right, I think this would be a great time to do some more shout outs. We are valuing every single person that listens to this show. We want to make sure that you feel like you're part of something each and every time that you tune in. So if you email us and want your name mentioned, or if you want anything plugged, again, we're going to do some plugs at the end of the show. But we really want to shout out to our biggest fans. So Mark Allen. Mark Allen is, again, someone who's very active on Facebook chatting with us. And he was one of the first to subscribe to the YouTube channel. He sent in some show topic ideas, and he is interested in being a co-host, so he's all about it. I want to say thank you very much for listening, Mark. Tell your friends. Mark Allen, ladies and gentlemen. Jessie White, he's another one who's out there doing his thing on the internet, severely entertaining. He's always playing some games. He is very interesting in that he can't finish Final Fantasy X right now. Yeah, so a lot of people are on him. Peer pressure is very, very important in gaming because you got to have your friends pushing you over the edge to get that to get that.
I'm going to
platinum.
step in and defend Jesse. He knows his beer. Give Jesse some credit. Him
Jesse
and Justin
had
Hinkle and Matt Phillips.
Many good qualities in these people. Many good. But you can do it, Jess. Don't give up. He's cheating on Yuna with, what's the name of the girl
Yennefer.
in Witcher?
Yennefer.
Yeah. And I told him, I'm like, Yuna's not going to take you back. He's dipping into Witcher. He's doing that before he finished Final Fantasy X. I tell him it's worth it, but he's not listening right now. We have my good buddy Chris DiFranco. Big shout out to you. Now, Chris is kind of similar to Brian, who our other co-host. I'm going to let him introduce everything that he's involved with writing, but also gaming. He's in the industry. Chris DiFranco is also, he's an avid gamer and he's involved in the industry. And I'm really excited to have him talk about his job and what he does. We'll keep it secret for now, but let's just say that he has insight about free-to-play gaming and mobile gaming and all that. So Chris DiFranco, big shout out to you. I hope to have you on the show. He's going to talk to us about what he's playing, things like that. He'll be writing in more. And then does somebody want to pronounce this? Now, this person said that we weren't going to be able to pronounce his name, but he wanted a shout out, so we're going to try. I'm going to let Chris, do you want to take it?
We should all try it.
Let's all try it one at a time.
We'll all have a go. We'll all have a go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll all have a go.
I think it's Yahraqad. I'm trying to pronounce it in Arabic. Yahraqad Ware.
Okay.
Maybe.
There you go. Matt?
Yahraqad Ware.
Imran?
I think I saw him in a conversation with Melanie, and who, by the way, has so many platinum trophies. I don't know how. And I'm sure, I can't remember properly, but I'm sure he said his name's pronounced Yahraqad Ware.
But there's no U in it.
I know. I swear, that's what I read. I don't know. I'll find it. I'll get a screenshot. I'm sure that's what he said.
He
It's
don't know how to
Yahraqad.
spell your
It's-
name.
okay.
But he's the
Spell
guy.
your
He's the
name.
guy with the two pistols, looking like a bad man, proper hitman pose. He's the
Who's
guy.
On
obsessed.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, if you see him.
He's obsessed with Kingdom Hearts. Dude, please stop
Yes.
posting about Kingdom Hearts.
Don't stop posting about
It's a
Kingdom
good
Hearts.
game.
It's alright.
We're with you,
It is,
Yara.
it is.
Yara. We'll just call you Ware, won't we?
So
Oh,
the spelling of his name, Yahraqad. Last name is Ware, or I can even be
That
not
might be wrong,
pronouncing that correctly. But that's going to be a recurring segment on the show. We're going to have people record themselves and try to say his name and send it in and see if we get some laughs out of that. But thank you very much for everybody who's been sending us emails. If you want to email us for a shout out, or if you want to plug your recent project or your band, you want to email us at podcastpa.email@gmail.com. And again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is the only way that we're releasing the show right now, but we'll be on iTunes later. And you want to search on YouTube the Platinum Achievement Podcast, and you guys can listen to us. You have no idea. Yeah, you have no idea how much we appreciate each and every listener. And, we're just trying to have fun here, and we want you to have fun with us. Now, this is very exciting. We are trying to plug people's little projects, so I want to give a very exciting announcement right now. We have Joe Ryan. Joe is also a podcaster. He has a show called, what was it again, Matt?
Select Start.
Select Start, but it's not spelled Select Start. They
You take all the vowels out.
Take all the vowels out, so it's SLCT and then STR, right? Is that it?
STRT.
I don't
T.
know my vowels.
You almost-
I don't know how to spell. All right, there, I said it. So Joe is a podcaster. He has a great show. Please go ahead and tune in. We have a lot of podcaster friends actually right now, so we're gonna go ahead and plug other shows, and make sure that everybody gets a chance, gets a listen. He is also a writer. He's released a fantasy novel. It's called Age of Eris. That's AERIS. I may be mispronouncing that. Age of is it Arius, you think?
It's Eris.
Eris. Age of Eris. Age of AERIS, and it is released on Amazon, so if you search it, it'll come right up. And here's a little synopsis. In the world of Eris, tensions are high between the gun-slinging centaurs of Sera, the axe-wielding dwarves of Holmgard, and the sword-bearing elves of Greenway. The only thing keeping them from an impending war could be the threat of the vampire bat-like Manzine and the bloodthirsty wolf-like Wolfkin, attacking their lands and killing at will. Now, Joe is severely skilled. I suggest you go ahead and pick that up. Now, it's a series, so the very first story in the series is the Battle of Ektorp. It's Eketorp. So a lot of kind of complex, like fantasy like titles there, but very good stuff. It's available on Kindle, tablet, phone, computer. So just search it on Amazon. It'll be $2.99 digitally, but it's also free for Kindle Unlimited subscribers. So if you're a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, it's free. Go ahead and try that out. Joe Ryan, congratulations. That's a big thing. I respect that.
Yeah, it is.
He
seems
Joe's great
very
as well,
interesting.
Joe's amazing. He talked to me
Yeah, he's
about
great.
how much work he put in this thing. He has like maps. This story plays out over I think not even hundreds, but maybe even thousands a year. Something deep like that. Something like real creative. So thank you, Joe, for doing that, for sharing your skills with the world. And does anyone else have anything else to plug?
I do.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'd like to plug the Phoenix Overdrive Nation. They are a group on Facebook, but they do have a podcast called Nerd Overdrive that is very interesting to listen to. But the pride of their focus is probably Extra Life. For those of you who don't know what Extra Life is, it's a charity to benefit children's Miracle Network hospitals all across the country. Go visit their team. It's at extra-life.org/team/Phoenix Overdrive and then the number 15. So Phoenix Overdrive 15. Good solid dudes, and a lady sort of head up that system. It's Ray Osorio. He's sort of the man in command. Then there's Lee, huge member of the master race, Navarro, his wife Becky, and then Kyle. I like to derail hype trains. Wait, they do Nerd Overdrive every week. They're on Facebook in the group Phoenix Overdrive. You can find them. It's solid people, all positive, and they're looking to benefit children's hospitals. You can't go wrong. So,
Good job.
give them a look.
Anybody else? Any other plugs? Any other projects? Anything else that you're excited for coming up?
Yeah, I just want to say that Joe Ryan, your novel seems very interesting. I actually want to read it right now.
Yeah, he's going to stop the show right now just so he can read it. He's that into it. I'm definitely going to be picking it up. We should start, we should
definitely
do some type of book club type thing, about playing the same game or reading the same book. So we'll look into that. Thank you, Joe, again. Now,
sounds good.
Anybody else before we wrap up?
No, nothing else. Just shout out to Joe's podcast is great. He does it with a couple of guys. It's really, really good. They talk about games like us, but they also go off on talk about TV shows as well, which is always good. But yeah, he's really intellectual.
They are hilarious.
They're really good.
Select
Yeah,
start,
so
people.
funny, yeah.
Get it out there.
It's really good.
I'd like to do some like cross show, not just promotion, but maybe we could be on each other's shows. I don't know how that would work, but exciting things in the future, people. And before we go to the last to the music that's going to play us out this week, because we do have some listener submitted jam to carry us out, we have a listener challenge. Now, I want to give you a little preview about the upcoming episode next week. We're going to be talking about talking games with non-gamers. Now, this is again a little letter email by Tim Nestor. He says, what's your experience like when chatting with family, friends, and coworkers about your gaming hobby? Is it widely accepted, ridiculed, misunderstood? For me, I find myself pretty reserved about gaming at work. I'll talk about it in a broader, more socially acceptable sense, but I don't usually give away how much I care about and love the video game industry. I've even found myself playing dumb about some game-related things that I clearly know the answers to. I'm 32 years old and a father of 5, so being overly excited about games feels a little weird in certain settings. Thankfully, I'm 100% open about it, and I'm 100% open about it with my family and most friends. They know that I'm a complete gaming nerd, and they still love me. And again, Tim, we'd love to have you on sometime so you can kind of take your hobby to the next level, because that's what you should do about things that you're passionate about, Tim. So please, we'll be in contact with you. Now, what I wanted to do is kind of like have people think about this for the next time, so we'll get more into it next show, and I'll probably go over what Tim said here. But here's the listener challenge. if you guys want to do a recording of going up to some people who maybe you haven't talked to about games before, someone random, and just ask them like, what's your favorite video game, and just see if you can get an answer out of anybody. I think that would be pretty fun. So if you can get a decent recording, try to use your phone, or if you can, a decent mic, and then you can go ahead and email us the MP3. I think that would be pretty cool. What do you guys think? Getting people to approach people randomly about games.
Dig it.
Yeah, I think we should all give it a go as well.
Oh yeah. My mailman, I just have a feeling that he's played, a lot of World of Warcraft. You ever get that look where you look at somebody and you're like, this guy's into WoW?
No, I don't judge people that way. I really don't.
Yeah, that's
I don't see race, but I see gaming. And like, you look like a Call of Duty guy.
So you're like at the convenience store, like, oh yeah, that lady, she loves her kids.
Try it. No, try it.
So
just look at somebody.
When you asked for,
judge him.
When you got our selfies, Antonio, did you decipher what type of games we like?
Basically.
So you did.
Basically, I knew Chris didn't play any good games. I knew it.
What? What?
I took one look at you and I'm like, this guy has not played Fallout through.
I do not know what I do. I would love to hear what you thought of me because I had like a tie on. I was going to an interview when I took my selfie.
Yeah, I'm like, he doesn't really play games.
Oh, okay.
Anybody wearing
Candy
a tie
Crush.
doesn't play games. Misconceptions. So basically, think about that. If you can record somebody, send us the MP3. But we're going to be talking about that next episode, talking games with non-gamers. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to see how awkward we can get with that one. So that's your listener challenge for the week and what we're going to be talking about on the next podcast. Now, to play us out, we have some listener-submitted jam. Well, actually, before that, we want to give a big shout-out to my cousin who actually gave us the track that we are playing to open the show. Now, my cousin can be found, he produces music. He creates a lot of great stuff. I often listen to his stuff when I'm just trying to, do work, like kind of in the background. He's got some very good beats. If you go on SoundCloud, you want to give a search for Well Off Wolf. So that's WELLOFF WOLF. So Well Off Wolf, and it's Roberto Guillen. He is able to create some amazing things, and he gave us the track. It's called Proper. I think that's what it's called. That's what he labeled it as. So the track is called Proper. You hear it every time that the podcast plays. If you want to beat him out and submit some even better intro music, then we'd love to take that submission. We're going to be changing as you guys participate. So if you want to change up the music for us, you can. We are also going to try to play out some listener-submitted jams to play us out at the end of the show. And this week's listener-submitted jam is, again, a family member of mine. So Ramon Guillen, that's my brother. He's a lead singer and rhythm guitarist for his band Pale Moonlight. If you want to search on Facebook, Pale Moonlight, I think it's a reference to Batman. Remember the Tim Burton
You ever
Batman?
dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Yeah.
You ever dance with it? What a line.
Yeah. The Joker.
Joker's awesome. So he's in the band called Pale Moonlight, but his solo work can be reached if you search Ramon Guillen on SoundCloud. RAMON. Guillen is GUILLEN. Ramon Guillen. All these things will be in the show notes I think we can put them on the YouTube. So Ramon Guillen on SoundCloud, and this week's jam is called The Truth. So The Truth is the jam, and he's going to be playing us out. I want to thank everybody for listening to our very first episode of the Platinum Achievement Podcast. It's been great. Thank you for bearing with us as we stumble over each other for our very first episode, but we promise to get better at everything. And really thank you for every listener. Subscribe on the YouTube and make sure that you are telling others about it. Why don't you guys say something to the people to sign us off? What do you got to say, Matt?
I just want to say thank you to you guys. I did not know any of you before we started this, and now I'm kind of glad that I do. Yeah. So, banana and out.
Imran?
Yeah, same really. Thank you for everyone who's going to listen. And thank you to you guys, really. Antonio, you've been amazing, doing a lot of hard work and bringing this all together. And Chris and Matt are awesome as well. And we miss Brian. So.
Yeah, Brian might be dead. Brian assured us he'd be on this recording, and I don't know.
We will find him, Antonio.
We will find Brian. The search for Brian and Chris.
And then we will kill him.
Then we will kill him for missing. Chris.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys. I was kind of nervous. Maybe we wouldn't have the same mindset, but all of us we love games and we talk each other naturally. So yeah, I want to say thank you to you, Antonio. You've been working really hard for this. So yep,
All right.
that's it.
Nope, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Can't do the show without you, co-host. Can't do the show without you, listener. And thank you very much for joining us on this very first Platinum Achievement podcast. Signing off.
What was that?
Oh my God, I'm going to open my windows.
Oh yeah, you're hot, right? I don't have a fan on or anything.
1, 2, 3, 4. You owe me some days. There's no one in the bar. All these ladies have one face, I know who they are. They're just like me, we're all the same. Do explain how we make love of what's due. In truth, I feel lonely, do you? Do you remember the truth to all your lies? Pretender, pretend you're getting by. Defend her, that's what she wants. But be sure to protect that heart that you got. My window is covered with rain, and it's so dark outside that I don't draw the shades. It's strange, yeah, how even the darkness changed too. In truth, I feel lonely, don't you? Do you? Do you remember the truth to all your lies? Pretender, pretend you're getting by. Defend her, that's what she wants. But be sure to protect that heart that you've got. You owe me some days. You owe me some days.